County Republicans, and then we're done here. Actually going to be going back home to Pontiac.
Okay. But you were in the news this weekend. I don't know if that was anything you really how you wanted to be in the news, but
sure I did, because I called the press conference.
Yeah.
Oh no, I called the press conference. About a week ago, an attorney got in touch with our legal counsel at the Treasurer's office and said that she is representing an employee within the Treasurer's office in regards to certain things. So the next day, which by the way, the notice came to our legal counsel about 2.5 hours before the first really big public debate between the 4 candidates for governor in Peoria, which is a public debate. So you always question whether the timing of something like that. And then we had our internal general counsel and our outside counsel visit with this attorney, who said that they have that they're talking about an accusation with regards to personnel matters in the office of State Treasurer. They went ahead and had the discussion. During that discussion, the comment made directly from that attorney to our 2 attorneys on the telephone specifically said that we can keep this under wraps, were the exact words the 2 attorneys quoted, for $300,000. All right, that caused immediate suspect on what the whole thing was about. At that point, we then, our attorney said, okay, send us whatever you got. Sent information to them, and upon receiving it, I said, go through whatever there is there. On receiving it, then I brought in a retired FBI special assistant that was in charge of white-collar crimes, I should say. When we did that, we said, review this stuff. What do we got here? And everybody concurred between our internal outside attorney and the former FBI. Said, this looks, there's nothing here now. Maybe other comments were made, but I can't say much about that publicly here right now. When we went through all that stuff, it became pretty evident. Then we found out that the attorney, Christine Svensson, and I say that because that is public information. I don't mention the accuser, I don't mention the accusations, just because they're under personnel review, so I can't do that. And come to find out that she had done some work with Mr. Rauner, Bruce Rauner's campaign, who's a candidate for governor, albeit maybe a project or whatever, but it was whatever it was. She was on the received compensation from the Rauner campaign about 6 months prior to that. In addition, it's been noted that Mr. Rauner has specifically said in his fundraising meetings, quoted by at least 2 sources, that he's going to go out and destroy the other candidates for governor. It's kind of coincidental that at the same time there's started new ads that have been paid for by a third-party political action committee, which specifically attack both the 2 other gentlemen running for governor and myself. Does not mention Mr. Rauner, so you start to become suspect of that. When I said, this is becoming pretty evident what it is, it's a political attack on me. I said, I'm going public. We had a press conference in Chicago and just laid out all the information that we could legally, and had my attorney there to say, when the time came of questions about the accuser and the accusations, it's like, I'm sorry, we can't do that. What we then did before that, we also brought in to do an independent external person, again, another former federal agent with the Internal Revenue Service, to do the complete independent analysis of this, and we're ready to have that start. It starts this coming week.
Now, Bruce Rauner was at a meeting in Ottawa today, hosted by the Bureau LaSalle Tea Party.
Okay. And
we were there, and he said basically that it's baloney, and he knew nothing about it.
Okay, I would expect him to have said that. Same thing he said about the third-party campaign political action committees went after Congressman Aaron Schock, and same thing with regards to the committee that's now attacking Senator Brady, Senator Dillard, and Treasurer Rutherford. I would expect him to say that.
Now, sometimes these scandals come up, or a scandal or something scandalous or accusation, and it doesn't always benefit the person that one might think is the person it would benefit. I mean, why would he want to do that?
Well, here, let me just say this. I've been in office 22 or 23 years. In public office that long, not one single time, ever, had there been any accusations made. Now, it's kind of interesting that after 23 years with no accusations, 6 weeks before an election, of which has literally gotten down to be a two-person race, Brown or Rutherford, that this is now dropped. And once I think all the facts are known, you'll see the timeline, which makes it abundantly suspicious, having Mr. Rauner's background and who he said what he's going to do. At the same time, he just put another $1 million of his own money into a campaign. So I decided, I'm not going to sit back. I'm going to put it out there, and we're going to have the facts be known.
Good evening.
So you just think it's all timing, and my question is, why would he want to come forward with that if there's a chance of it backfiring?
I don't think that they thought that we would come out public with it. I don't think that the accuser, the attorney, they were prepared to try to negotiate a $300,000 arrangement to keep it under wraps. And these aren't my suspicions. These are absolute quotes that were given by the attorney to our attorneys. $300,000, we'll keep it under wraps. And the minute I hear those kind of things, and my team looks at this and said, "There's absolutely nothing here," I said, I'm gonna have a press conference. I'm gonna expose it and let the shrapnel fall where it may. But what I do know enough about politics is that when you have these kind of accusations made, literally in the 11th hour on the cusp of an election, and we're going to be starting having absentee ballots circulating within the next 2 weeks, it becomes abundantly suspect. Just connect the dots.